Hey guys, it's Marshall Ting with your Superior Ag Insurance Ringside Report for this past week, the week of March 30th through April 4th. We've had a busy week. We've had a lot of things going on, and it's been pretty exciting. So let's talk about this real fast. So, as far as your cattle marketing, we sold 15,660 head of cattle across the state of Kentucky through your auction barns and markets. If you compare that to this time last week, you're down about 4,000 head, but if you compare it to a year ago, you're pretty much dead shot on the money numbers-wise. Now, what did we see this past week? Well, you've seen a lot of things. You've seen your board get kind of funky. You saw your trade tariffs open up, and I think that had a little bit of an impact on your stock market and your cattle board as well. And then we've got a lot of rain. A lot of us are underwater. We're underwater for a little bit. You got some wind damage there. And I think all three of those factors together kind of had an impact on your market and backed it up just a little bit. Now, when I say backed it up just a little bit, these prices are still really strong. It's not like the bottoms fell plumb out of this thing, and this thing's it's starting to look a little bit more optimistic here as of Wednesday morning and late afternoon, Tuesday afternoon. So your board started off really good, and your market started off really good Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday got a little shaky. By Thursday, all the rain started to come in, and that's when your board got funky, and that's when these prices started to back up just a little bit. But when I say back up again, don't get worried. This thing is still moving right along pretty good. But as a whole, we're going to call your feeder steers and heifers unevenly steady, anywhere from about $4 lower to $6 higher, I think, depending on the time of the week that it happened. And your yearling steers as well, you're going to call those anywhere from $4 lower to $2 higher. Again, the weather and this board had just a little bit of an impact on these things, but they're still trading quite nicely. And you'll see this when we're talking about these little lightweight things and even on your loads. So, what are these things worth going in? Well, no $5 lightweights this past week, but your $3 steers or your 3-weight steers, they topped off at $487.5. So that's still a really good trade on a 3-weight steer. Now, as far as your 4-weights, we're going to call them $390 as an average. They still topped off at $455, so still a lot of money there on the high end. Your 5-weight steer cattle, $350 to $360 as an average there. They topped off at $406. Your 6-weight steer cattle is $320 as an average, and again, they topped off at $364, which is sure enough nothing to shake a stick at. Now, let's talk about your big loads now. Here's a little bit of a difference. We're going to talk about a first load that we're going to talk about. It's going to be the first half of the week. The second two loads are going to be on the back half of the week. And you'll see a little bit what I'm talking about. So Monday, we had sold some cattle. 67 head of black steers weighed 805 at $284.90. Really good trade. Now here's the cattle on the back half of the week. 42 head of black steers weighed 821 at $279.50. So again, still really good prices. You're about $5 back there across the board, but still $279.5 on an 8-weight steer is still a really good price. Now here's another set. Here's 54 head of heavies. These would be 890 pounds on the average at $276.85. So still really good trade. And if you don't believe me, check out these heifers now. Here's 86 head of black heifers weighed 567 at $329 flat. That gives you some confidence. This thing's still looking pretty good. Now, as far as your CME feeder cattle index, excuse me, it pretty much steady this past week, but it is going to drop back just a little bit as these prices start to roll in and these market reports start to come in and this CME rolls back just a little bit, but pretty much steady this past week. Monday the 31st, 291.02. Tuesday the 1st, 291.27. Wednesday the 2nd, 291.93. Thursday the 3rd, 291.95. So as you can see, all through there, Monday through Thursday is pretty much steady. Friday we dropped back just a little bit. Friday the 4th, 290 flat. So that's what's going on there, guys. But don't forget, if you're interested in the LRP policy, there really is no better time than right now. I preach that all the time. But guys, really start considering that as protection just to protect yourself. But do keep this in mind. If the board is limit down, the guys are unable to lock in the LRP policy for that day. So if you have any questions about any of this information or you're interested in the LRP policy, feel free to reach out to the guys. Call Ian Thomas at 859-613-2453. Call Adam Shoemaker at 859-338-4116 or call Cole Clark at 859-865-2980 or check them out on the web, www.superioragins.com. As always, have faith in this market. Stay out of the mud. We'll talk to you next week.